So, hello there everyone, and welcome. It is Niran here, and today it is time for me to bring you yet another FIFA 20 career mode experiment. You have seen many randomized things in the history of this channel. Today we're going to be randomizing every single player's overall or ability on the game. Literally everybody is just, who knows how good they are. It's probably a catastrophe. Every single player has had every single attribute randomized apart from potential. So their potentials are what they were before. And I'm hoping it's going to provide some... I mean, it's just going to provide ridiculous results, isn't it? Now, if we look at the overalls, you'll see they haven't changed. I could have randomized those as well, but they don't really do anything. They're just like a display number. They don't actually reflect how good Gavin Bazunu, for example, is. If we look at his attributes, you'll see here that like everything is just all over the place. He's very strong and he's got good stamina, but for a goalkeeper, his handling could be slightly better. But obviously that then doesn't make him 59 overall. That's just what his overall was before. So those aren't going to change for now until players start changing in actual attributes or for the AI when the end of the season comes. So it'll be a bit tricky to work out who's good and bad at first, but once the first season is done, it should be pretty simple. If we take another example, Aymeric Laporte is clearly not an 87 rated defender. He's also got 1 sprint speed, so maybe attackers will be looking to run in behind against Aymeric. Anyway, we're going to be simming this over quite a few seasons, hopefully. So if you go on to enjoy the video, then slap a like on it. And of course, subscribe if you are new to the channel. It's the big red button under the video. All right, so we've simmed forward a couple of months now, and the actual overalls have started to reveal themselves. I don't know why I sound like Paddy McGuinness saying that.
No likey, no likey.
To be fair, we have got the Isle of Fernandinho in centre-back, so I guess that works. Players aren't as good as they were before. I think it's fair to say. Sergio Aguero, for example, is currently registered at a whopping 43. Meanwhile, Raheem Sterling is at 54. David Silva's at 53. Rodri is 44. The reason why these have changed and some of the others haven't is because their attributes have now changed. The game has actually recalculated their real overall. Aymeric Laporte is 34. He's not good at anything. This guy is probably one of the best players on the game. His name is Abhaya Bajwa. He's Indian and playing in the free agents. I've been in pretty good form lately and I'm feeling good. So I hope you're not going to bench me for the game against Everton. Bernardo Silva, 53 overall. There's only so much form you can possibly be in. If you're wondering about transfers, they are still happening and there's some that are actually quite decent. Andrea Zivkovic here from Benfica to Trabzonspor for 6.5 mil. So even though he could literally have an attribute from 1 to 99 on anything at all, he's still worth 6.5 mil, so he must be at least like 70 odd overall. That's not even that bad. He's done well there. The reality here is that these players are probably some of the best players in the whole game, and a lot of them aren't even worth £2 million. No, this experiment is cancelled. Divock, how have you left me and betrayed me like this? So season number 1 of this experiment is done, and the Premier League has been won and topped by West Ham United. 91 points accumulated across the course of this season, with Crystal Palace just 4 points behind them. We've got Everton, Manchester United, Burnley, Southampton and Aston Villa in Europe, so a lot of the original top 6 not even making that first page. Liverpool, they're down in P9, Chelsea 12th, and ourselves, City and Arsenal all in the mid-table. Meanwhile, down towards the bottom, Watford just survive, whilst it's Bournemouth, Norwich and Tottenham who go down to the Championship. The FA Cup has been won by Championship side Brentford on penalties over Peterborough. That would indicate they are 2 of the best teams in England, so even the best teams aren't even in the Prem. The Carabao Cup was won by AFC Wimbledon. Your Champions League winners are Valencia, an all-Spanish final against Real Madrid, and over in the Europa League, it's Greek side PAOK, or PAOK. I can never remember how you actually pronounce that. They beat Getafe 2-1. I can't. No. Odion Ighalo of Manchester United is the top scorer in the league. This is not acceptable behavior. After all the jokes I've cracked about them signing Odion Ighalo and him leaving China to avoid the coronavirus, and he's got the golden boot. This is outrageous. Wait, is that Mamadou Sakho? No, you're really do know it's an inaccurate experiment when Christian Benteke is scoring more than 10 goals. And Andreas Pereira as well. No, this is not acceptable. So here is how the squad is looking. If we sort this by overall, you'll see that De Bruyne, Gundogan and Walker at the top. However, their overalls are fake. They've just got the same overalls they started with. The first real overall, and therefore the best player in this whole team, is actually Felix Nmecha. The Englishman is 77 overall, genuinely. Like, he's actually 77. That's mental. I don't understand how a player has almost become 80 having all of their attributes randomized. 99 long passing, penalties and finishing, as well as 98 long shots and 92 short passing. If you're wondering about Euro 2020, it's been won by the Czech Republic. Apparently, they now have the best team in the whole of Europe. Poland finishing runners-up after losing 2-0 in the final. We had Germany and France still going strong in the semis, though. The quality of the clubs on show is shocking. It's absolutely awful. As you would expect, again, every attribute is randomized between 1 and 99, so the chances are every single player has at least, I don't know, 5 or 10 attributes that are below like 20. Even West Ham are only 1 star, and they just won the Premier League. Season number 2 is done. It's improvement for Manchester City, but it's also improvement for Crystal Palace, who've gone from being the bridesmaid to the bride. They finished top on 105 points. Their squad must be ridiculous to be getting that many points. They were 10 points clear of Everton, newly promoted Fulham, 3rd, then Leicester, City, Wolves, Southampton, and West Ham. Brighton, Newcastle, and Leeds go down. Leeds getting 2 points. That's it. Just 2 points, nothing more. The FA Cup has been won by Wycombe Wanderers, phenomenal. And the Carabao Cup has been won on penalties by Barnsley over Peterborough. Over in the Champions League, it's Belgian side Club Brugge who come out on top. And over in the Europa League, Atletico Madrid beat Sevilla in another all-Spanish final. Down in the Championship, we got Bournemouth and Derby going up. Birmingham, Bristol City, Nottingham Forest, and Brentford in the playoffs. Over in France, Paris Saint-Germain no longer winning the league. That's over to Monaco, who went undefeated there. The Bundesliga was won by Mainz over Frankfurt, Schalke, Bayern, and Stuttgart. Inter Milan won in Serie A over Torino, Lazio, AC Milan, and Juventus. And then finally in Spain, not too much difference at all. This experiment doesn't seem to have affected them whatsoever. Lads, we can't have this. It's not possible. We've got our first 80 overall player in the squad, and it's Felix Nmecha. No real surprise there. The front three could do with a little bit of work, I think it's fair to say. I thought I'd seen the last of this email. Another season goes by, and Crystal Palace continue to reign supreme. This time just 3 points the gap over Derby County, who were just promoted from the Championship. Our new club Burnley just about survives, whilst Nottingham Forest, Manchester United, and Aston Villa go down. Your FA Cup winners are Birmingham City. They beat Barnsley, we've seen quite a few times now in finals. Over in the Carabao Cup, Peterborough United finally get some silverware. They've also been in many finals already. They beat Charlton. The Champions League has been won by Mainz of Germany over Real Madrid, and the Europa League sees Real Sociedad victorious over Genk. Over in the Championship, it's Bristol City and Peterborough United getting promoted. So Peterborough have done well in cup finals. They've now done well in the league. Monaco's still on top in France. Paris Saint-Germain getting back towards the summit, though, ahead of Lyon, Marseille, and Montpellier. The Bundesliga has been won by Bayern, so familiar faces getting back towards the top of each league. Frankfurt, they're in second, then Leverkusen and Leipzig. Over in Italy, we've got Torino winning on goal difference over AC Milan. And there is at least a little bit of variation over in Spain now, because Malaga have managed to push themselves into the top 3 in between Real Madrid and FC Barcelona. We've just passed through the summer of 2022, and that means we've had the Qatar World Cup, but the Netherlands are the ones who have won the trophy overall, 2-0 over Sweden. Spain beating Italy in the 3rd place playoffs, which means it was an all-European set of semi-finals. I think internationally, the nations have kind of sorted themselves out. The biggest ones are back to being the biggest ones again. Look at this Burnley team that I've been given to deal with. What is this, fam? Now, the final season of this experiment has not exactly gone to plan. We've lost our job, I will not lie to you, as the Burnley manager, and we've ended up in a situation where we've gone down to the Championship to finish off the season, and the Premier League has not enjoyed that one bit. We've ended up with a 60-game season for whatever reason, I don't know, but Peterborough United have won the league. Just in case it couldn't get any weirder, down at the bottom, Birmingham and Derby survive, whilst Bournemouth, Bristol City, and Burnley go down. The league we are now in looks like this, with Wimbledon getting promoted to the Premier League. I know they won a trophy at some point during this experiment. They've now been rewarded by getting up to the top tier of English football. Manchester United finishing 2nd. They are re-promoted, whilst Brentford, Barnes, Barnsley, QPR and Reading are in the playoffs. But the likes of Villa, Leeds, Brighton, Nottingham Forest, Spurs, Newcastle and Norwich all down here. And Norwich become the first original Premier League team to go as far down as League One with relegation in Season 4. Peterborough have won trophies again. This team is unrivaled. Barnsley and Wimbledon back at it again in the Carabao Cup, but the Yorkshire side come out on top. The Champions League sees the exact same final again with Mainz and Real Madrid. And the Europa League has been won by Monaco over Cagliari. Over in France, shock horror, Monaco win the league again. Lyon in second, then Marseille and Paris Saint-Germain. The Bundesliga sees Bayern come out on top once more over Leverkusen, Leipzig and Nuremberg. The Italian champions are Roma for the first time in this experiment, beating Milan, Torino and Lazio, who complete the top 4. The Dutch league was won by Ajax over Feyenoord, so not much has gone down there. Over in Portugal, Sporting are the best club by a distance, getting 100 points and beating Desportivo Aves by 25. In Scotland, it's still the two Glaswegian sides out on top, Celtic finishing above Rangers. And then over in Spain, we finally got different winners as Malaga beat both Real and Barcelona to the Spanish title. This, by the way, is Peterborough's team. On the face of it, when you look at a normal FIFA team, that's pretty shocking. But it's a 3-star side, and genuinely, I don't think I've seen any other 3-star teams in this whole thing, apart from Palace, who apparently are as well. That, though, is going to wrap up today's FIFA 20 career mode experiment, and I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then slap a like on this video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. It is at @theofficialfng on Twitter and on Insta. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.